The PHNX Rising podcast, we try to make a lot of consumable consumable content. There's a start, there's an end, and there's a lot of meat in the middle. And that's exactly what we're looking for today with a little hot dog action. Let's go. Woo! Let's go. We are so back. Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast. We're coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. It is America's third stop. Go on in. Get a nice Polar Pop. Cheers, buddy. It's a great day for so many reasons.
I will say this. Obviously, people wouldn't have seen this because, the countdown was running and you're also not in the room and he's sitting off there outside of the shot. But during that countdown, we just looked over at Rees and this poor kid just looked terrified. He knows what's yet to come. But he's terrified.
Yeah, leave a like for Reese's Tear on your way in. We got
Sign up to be a diehard
in the chat. She's sad. Fat kid with 3 hot dog emojis. Sly. Oh, and do you grill your brats or do you boil them? That's actually a fair question.
I feel like boil's not the answer.
I would agree.
Boil is not the right answer. Now, they're not being either of those two here because we don't have the capacity to do that here in the studio. But they will be prepared in a warming manner.
Yes, they are. Yes, they will absolutely.
Yeah. So if you are, by the way, just to point it out there, actually, should we get it out of the way first? Again, we'll remind people multiple times during this. Absolutely. If you want to watch Rees do the hot dog challenge, you do need to become a diehard. Go to gophnx.com/diehard. Sign up there. You join the Discord. Okay. In the Discord, we will post the link at the end of this show, so you will have that link to go over. It'll take us a little bit of time to get cooking and, all the good stuff there and get Rees in position because I know he's so excited. He's so excited for this one.
Excited.
He
yes,
is.
Absolutely.
But we will be going then live at some point after this podcast with the real meat of today.
Yes, become a diehard. Again, if you become a diehard during this live pod, right, we will ensure that you get added. Please make sure to at PHNX__rising, at me, Max David Simpson, at Owain, at OJ Evans 18. At us, tweet at us, DM us, and show us proof that you paid for your diehard membership.
We'll make sure you get that link.
That you are watching the Hot Dog Helpers Hot Dog Challenge.
Oh, it's so
directly
good.
After this show. Let's go. We're here for a good day. It's going to be a good evening. And now we got to turn it. You got to get a little bit sad before we get happy because
we'll talk football.
Oh boy, we're going to talk football. Phoenix Rising. They played a match on Saturday. They lost 2-0.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They did. I mean, listen, I listened to the post game. Right. And, kind of watching it back on my end, kind of saw pretty much, right, your guys' thoughts exactly of like this kind of seemed like, again, kind of like a standard Rising performance in a lot of ways as of late. And that's not really a good thing. There were, if you're trying to push for optimism, I did see there was a little bit more verticality. I think that this team sometimes tries to play too cute, tries to play a bit too perfect ball. Let's try to find the right thing. And I think if I'm going to be grasping for positives, and I am grasping a bit, that they did try at least a different way to go about it. Now, they affirmed what we already knew, that the final third, there is so much to be desired. There's still a lot of hesitation. There is not a lot of clear-cut chances. Yes, there was one off the crossbar, things like that, but there wasn't a ton there. And the worrying thing is, again, you are facing a very, very game Sacramento side, but they got 2 goals scored on them when this is a defense that really plays pretty solid. And again, we've been saying you could stay in matches when you give up 0 goals, of course, and even 1 goal potentially. When you give up 2, this team almost all the time, I don't think they're getting results in any sense of the matter, and we saw that on Saturday.
Yeah. It was just another of those games where, again, it's just they can't turn chances into almost a full-on chance, it feels a lot of the time. You get a couple, but you don't really get enough. And when you're playing a lot of these better teams, that's a problem. That's a real problem. And it's been indicative of so much all season long, I think, just where this club has gone wrong, where this club has struggled. Now, again, it all comes to the caveat that Sacramento are a very good team.
They are, absolutely.
I wasn't necessarily expecting Rising to come away with a result from that one. They're a good team. You expect them to probably outperform you. You expect them to probably find ways to, find the 3 points against a squad like Rising that are struggling. But the reality of the matter is what it means, and I'll bring this up as, I know we're going to get into the more context later, but I'll put it in there. Now, at the moment, John Morrissey, shout out John Morrissey, friend of the pod, his model says that Rising's down to a 58% chance of making playoffs now. The glorified coin toss, slightly above.
That's not great.
No.
It's not ideal. Listen, again, if you're kind of looking at, forecasting the games ahead and everything like that, again, you don't need to win every match. You don't even need to necessarily get a result in every match. But again, your margin for error becomes so thin. Again, you look at this on paper, right? And again, I know this was reiterated. We reiterated it. It was reiterated in the postgame. This is not one you expect to come away with points. The issue is, right, we have seen that you need to be building momentum and you need to create chances where you can. It's just been so inconsistent for this club. And again, right, you have this streak where you're shutting people out. The defense is strong. That's not what we're worried about. But there will come a time where the margins, as we keep on saying, are so thin, not just when you're not scoring multiple goals, but if you can't score goals in general. Yeah, it's well documented, 8+ hours, during that run without a goal scored. And again, you look at open play goal. I know it was again mentioned as well on postgame. One open play goal in
7 games?
7 games. Again, there's penalty in there as well, yes, but that's tough. Again,
it's very tough. Yeah.
This is the weird part, which again, I'm not trying to compare that this is sustainable through the playoffs, which that's probably a conversation for another day. I could argue, even though it's incredibly unattractive, you can play this way during the playoffs. The issue is, and again, get to that if and when it comes, that's the big thing. You cannot play this way now if you hope to get into playoffs. And again, that opens up the wormhole of the bigger indictment. This is a bigger problem overall. But it would be an absolute, we'll call it what it is. It's a travesty. If this club completely misses after winning a championship and in the fashion that they did, going through, using 2 managers, everything that they did, they need to figure it out. And again, we keep on saying this. I feel we come back to here in Studio K, percent by Circle K, every single week, just not knowing what that's going to look like.
No. But again, these are issues this club has had all season long. I'll actually push back slightly on what you're saying with the fact this could work in the playoffs. It could. But I think at the same time, what you're realistically dealing with is you're going to see games exactly like you saw on the weekend.
You're not wrong.
Not least because you're going to finish at the bottom of the table, which means you're going to be playing from someone from up the top, right?
Sure.
Last season, when Rising were in that run into the playoffs, it felt like they still had something to them.
Sure.
Okay? You felt like they could come out and score. I don't look at this team and think they have more than 1 goal in them game.
I don't think they do either. Oh, I don't think they do either.
And that's something that I understand. You can be, well, defensively they've been okay, right? But defensively, they've been okay for the most part against some of the worst teams in the league.
Totally fair.
And yeah, they've been okay in some of the earlier season games, maybe against better teams. But then they play Colorado Springs, realistic team they could face in the first round.
Sure.
They shipped 2 goals against them. They play Sacramento, realistically team they could face in the first round. They shipped 2 goals against them.
They sure
Okay?
did.
This is a team that finds way to ship goals against teams like that. No matter how good they are most of the time, they find ways to do that.
Oh, absolutely. And again, let's not get it twisted by any means. I do affirm you can play that way during the playoffs, but your margins are way more thin than how you played last year. Because to your point, you get into a shootout or you're able to if you are able to conjure up multiple goals, regardless how leaky or unleaky a defense is, you are able to stay in matches. If you can, in theory, go to these places and try to play a gross, sloppy, muck it up, 0-0 match And that's honestly what you're looking at if this team is even able to make it in. Forget multiple goals. I don't even know how many against these top teams they're able to score a goal. Yeah. And I think, again, this is where I'm not advocating for it. I'm not saying they should play this way. But if they even get in, I think that's how they're going to. And again, it's not trying to put the cart before the horse. They have a lot of work to even get to this point. But I think that's kind of what I'm trying to say is almost kind of doubling down on what you're saying in that last year. Yes, they had some tight matches. Yes, you saw some, it was a, late stoppage time, goal, tight knit, everything like that. But the offense was more flowing, even if the defense was maybe not as sound as it is this year. Man, it's going to be tough because I don't think there's a spark coming. That's the thing. No. You're hoping that guys are clicking. And yes, the more games they play, the chemistry and everything like that, like you're kind of running out of time. It is a big gamble to say, oh, guys, we'll make it into the playoffs and this will click in time for playoffs. I don't think it will. Like if it does, all power to you. That's a big ask. It's a big ask.
It is. By the way, shout out Harry in there, who's here for San Antonio this week. We understand, Harry. But it's okay.
We do understand.
Should we have a look at the numbers from the last?
Let's do it.
From the last game. Let's have a look at the numbers from that last match, Max.
Yes, of course. Presented by our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union. Named by Forbes. Phoenix Rising 0, Sacramento 2. Rising 0.89 XG, 1.23 XG for sack. Possession, hanging in the rafters. Rising won the possession 56% to sacks 44. And then shots about even, 12-13. Shots on target. Rising had a quarter of theirs, 3 out of 12. And sack had, about a little over half, a little under half, 5 out of 13. I mean, again, it's, the Style Like a Rees had a couple additional stats of like Rising's first shot on target, 64th minute, right? Again, you're looking at Rising like from a defensive standpoint. Even though they let 2 goals in, it was decent. They won more aerial duels. They won more duels overall. They won more majority of their tackles. They had a better possession. Field tilt was worse, but like, again, this is where it's so frustrating because on paper, from a defensive standpoint, from a possession standpoint, Rising's always going to look good. It's the issue is this attacking. I don't even know what to say, man. Like we keep on saying the same thing. It's
we say the same thing every week.
Sentence. I don't know what to say.
Same thing every week. Same thing every week. All right, and that's the nature of a team that I think that is struggling. Look, Kevin, there when numbers look better than the performance appeared. Yeah, that's perfectly valid. But I'll add as well the caveat here that the numbers look good because when you take bad shots, they look better. I think that was a lot of the time. There was some poorer shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, I always go back to, and I think this is like again philosophical standpoint of you need to vary your shots to a degree. You cannot be always looking for the perfect shot, and you're only shooting from 6 yards out or inside the penalty box. Like
you also can't always just do the thing where you smack them from distance.
And that's just it. You also can't, just do 25, 30 yards out, shoot on site. There needs to be some sort of balance, but I think like to your point, a lot of these are half chances. There's a lot of these. I mean, really watching it back outside of maybe the one off the crossbar where like that was a good angle, maybe another day it gets buried. There's not a ton where you come away thinking, darn, that was a missed opportunity. We need to be a bit more clinical. And honestly, when you look at it, you haven't said that a lot during the season. You're either converting those chances, which few and far between as of recently, or you can't really say that about most matches. I really am trying to, and please, Chad, help me out. Owen, help me out. Reese, help me out. If I'm missing, when the last time there is a match that Rising did not get I wouldn't even say results, but at least a win from, where they just completely missed some clear-cut chances and you left feeling, oh man, we should have done a bit more clinical and we would have done better. Because I can't think of one. Maybe there's ones where you could have captured a point, but I just think you're grasping at that point. We haven't had a lot of elusive wins evade our grasp because we haven't really been in that position.
No.
It's tough, man. I'm more optimistic one out of the two of us, and it's just it's deflating. It is.
But then I'd say the same about Ryan. Ryan is often more optimistic than I am when I look at things, and we have conversations about it, and he'll give a more optimistic viewpoint. Even though, I mean, he much like you will sometimes come back at some of the things I say and go, you're not wrong, but maybe they'll fix this, maybe they'll fix that. And I think there's just a sense of deflation around people in general. I do think the last game actually has changed, I think, the tone that people are talking about at the moment. I feel as though going into that game, rightly or wrongly, a lot of people were looking at it as like, it's okay, we're going to make the playoffs. Okay, we'll make the playoffs even if we crash out first round. We'll get there. We'll get there. And the chat on Saturday night was just so negative. And from fans that I've spoken to since, it's been so negative that it's. And I think it's a combination. I don't think it's just Rising's game. I think that the results elsewhere didn't help either. It was one of those nights where I think it brings you. People can say things like, "Oh, we think we've looked a little bit better. We think this isn't," but it's the realization. I think that realistically, your season probably comes down to the next 2 games.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where we're at
honestly,
right now.
I mean,
this is a very, very major kind of.
I think a lot of it is when you keep on looking at how things are stacking up on paper. It's I think just so much of where the lack of optimism or anything is. It's just your runway is getting so much tighter. You have what
8 games,
8 matches
to play. Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4,
8. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's the next one. When you're talking math is hard.
Max has got the number counting down.
I'm a big numbers guy. No, when you're I that's why I need to use the official league website. But when you're looking at 8 matches left, I mean, again, it's your runway is so thin, and again, couple that with everyone winning below you, which we'll get into later. It's just a tough spot to be in, especially knowing who you're playing. Especially Harry in the chat, we're all very aware of who Rising is playing on Saturday and what that means. You're kind of up against it. You're not really able to kind of go after these cupcake teams that you're playing where they're absolutely miserable and in the dumps. But you're also playing a lot of people where any drop points, it impacts you on both sides of the table. It's just a tough spot to be in, man.
If Rising lose the next 2 playoff games, regardless of anything else, they're below the playoff line. Next 2 games, sorry. They are below the playoff line. Yeah, so it's critical time.
It is.
I tell you what, talking about that last Rising game is a little bit miserable. Talking about, I think, the way the team's playing right now is a little bit miserable. Devin just brought something up. Can Rees eat more hot dogs than the combined score of Bayern Munich game today? And we'll get into the Rees predictions for how many he eats later. Okay, there were 11 goals in that game. You know what I'm going to say? He's never beating the allegations, Max. Harry Kane scored 3 penalties in that game. That man is never beating the allegations.
Clinical.
Never beating the allegations.
A high stressful. Actually, he's not a player anymore. I don't care. Well, let's see. Rees will eat more hot dogs than Rising will score in the last 8 matches. Ooh.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to do.
That's a weird kind of fortune teller.
Give me a second to run some numbers here. So Bayern Munich scored 9 goals in that game. Phoenix Rising scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. To get 9 goals, you'd have to go back to the start of June. They've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games to get the same number of goals that Bayern Munich got in 1 game today against Dinamo Zagreb. Fun facts.
Oh my. That's scary. I am scared now. That's not good. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I know we're going to get into a little bit further of like what this means from a league standpoint, where Rising sit, but listen, between the post game, anything further that you kind of want to take away from this match?
That Sacramento's still a below average city?
Yeah. I mean, cue The Rock singing that
Leaving
that song. Sacramento, here I.
The best part about being in Sacramento is
the rest of it.
Leaving Sacramento.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the main takeaway. Otherwise, actually, one other thing I should have remembered, which is that Alejandro Fuenmayor, of course, for those of you who missed the news, will be suspended from the next game because of yellow card accumulation. So that's another takeaway. We'll discuss, I think, what we think they're going to do and what maybe the club's going to have to think about for that on Thursday's pod, of course, when we look at San Antonio game preview.
Yes, that is a pod.
But there will be no Alejandro Fuenmayor coming up this weekend.
Yeah, that's a scary one. Mm-hmm. Of goodness gracious, it makes you see where the depth is and where it's not. But hey, again, on the other side, we will be chatting with y'all about what's it called? About around the league, kind of seeing where Rising is stacking up.
Facebook Marketplace talk?
But, of course.
I'm sure I get no free ads for that. I'm surprised I didn't.
You're not right. I'm going to be real. I'm kind of spaced out. But I'm not going to be spaced out over our friends at Branded Bills because, hey, listen, they make you guys look that much better when you're wearing those lids on your heads. Again, I don't know if you guys realize, listen, they got ASU branded hats. They got the U of A ones as well. But exactly. But listen, we got a nice shipment today, a nice new shipment of Branded Bills hats. And let me tell you, it looks nice, man. You got the little line there, a nice little rope line, and a nice little Sparky, right? Again, these are licensed with their partnership through ASU, little Sparky in the copper colored Arizona State outline. It's nice, man. These are absolutely amazing. Branded Bills. You can get anything customized, snapbacks, truckers, fitted hats, beanies, tees. Everything has you covered. It is quality style. They even have the cushy rim on the inside, and it just fits like an absolute dream. It's adjustable. It's local in Mesa, Arizona, but they are making waves all throughout the country. Go to brandedbills.com. Use promo code PHNX to get 20% off your first order. Again, brandedbills.com, promo code PHNX for 20% off your first order. Let's go.
And yes, they do, Devin.
Boom. Also, check out our friends at Circle K. Again, we are in Studio K, right? Presented by Circle K. We already got the Polar Pops. I'm going to take a little, just a little ASMR. There we go. And as producer Kyle reaches for the, we got a little delectable from our friends over at Circle K.
Throw you another of those
chocolate brownie cheesecake bite. Here's the thing.
Cheesecake.
The Rees is going to be, shoving his face with some food. So I'll do my part.
Glizzies.
Listen, last time we crushed the toss.
Can he do it? Let's
again.
see.
All right, here we go. Produce Kyle. Here we go. Underhand. Here we go. Oh no! Ah!
Boo. But still get yourself a Polar Pop from Circle K.
Check out friends of Circle K. Opportunity patient locations, term and conditions to apply. See store locations for details.
I'm not sure if you caught it, Devin, but I did say that yes, Branded Bills do indeed have what you're asking for. I actually went and checked.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sorry, I'm going to be real. I did not see that. Yeah. No, they have hats for all the different states. It's really cool. Always adding new things to their website. Check them out. Again, help support us. But yes, we love our partners. I am the ad man. All right. Let's talk about what this means from around the USL. Again,
should we take a look at the league table? Because that really gives the context.
That's what I'm saying. Would you like to run it down from West?
Let's pull up at the West. Now, look, so New Mexico up at the top, obviously, even though they lost on the weekend to Detroit City. Sacramento, it's a real mix, actually, between 2 and 4 right now. Sacramento, Colorado Springs, Memphis, all within a point of each other. But then just breathing down their neck is Las Vegas and Oakland. 3 points back on them on 40 points, 28 games played. Phoenix Rising, of course, in 7th spot, still are, despite the loss on the weekend on 33. But that's where it gets difficult because, yes, does Rising have a game in hand over teams 8, 9, and 10? They do. However, they're only 2 points clear of them, and they have to play 2 of those teams. So, realistically, Orange County, San Antonio, these next 2 games, critical. Because if Rising loses both of those games, they will be, despite having a game in hand, below that playoff line. And remember, the key thing about a game in hand is it implies you think, oh, we're going to win it. I don't know if they will. Monterey Bay struggling a little bit further back. And then, of course, El Paso. Pretty much dead man at this point.
Yeah.
El Paso ain't doing anything. So, it's going to be interesting. And I mean, again, just knowing where the teams that they're playing in the next 2 games are, I mean, next 2 games, but definitely the next 4 games of the season for this team. Because you finish the season with Oakland, New Mexico away, Oakland away, Memphis home, and Louisville away. Those are 4 difficult games. Your next games coming up are San Antonio home, Orange County away. You've got Vegas home, and you've got Monterey Bay home. Those are games that you have to get points
plain
in.
and simple, you're 3 out of your 4 next games are at home
Against teams below you in the table.
3 out of your last 4 games are on the road, with many of them, I mean, shoot, what? All of them above
every single team in that.
Even though Louisville in the East, they are
just run the Eastern Conference. They just run that entire conference pretty much.
Yeah, man, you need to capitalize on these next 4 because, again, this is not only where the 8 games left, you're feeling a bit more like, oh, we're running out of time. If you go into your last 4 needing a result, oh boy.
Yeah, that's not going to end well.
Cut that. That's a clip right there. No,
that's terrifying. That's a nervous laugh.
It is. I'm in danger.
Hey, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. That's the meme right there. No, it's exactly what it is. Make sure to leave a like, by the way, for the being in danger. Leave a like for that. No,
thank you, Mr. Simpson.
Yes, of course. It's a tough spot to be in, and again, this is the part where you would. You would rather be a team who you're hoping that the law of averages comes back around, and even though you wouldn't want to be waiting till this point of the season, you're thinking, okay, got some good cachet in the bank, which again doesn't really mean much unless you're converting, but at least, hey, you're getting converting chances. Hopefully something clicks. I'm not seeing it at all, and that's just the thing we keep going back to is these are tough teams that you're playing against.
Yeah, I tell you what, let's do a little rundown right now. I'm going to make you do some predictions, Max, and we're going to kind of put some things in perspective here for where we think teams are going to finish the season. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of run through the results that teams have games that teams have remaining, excluding their game against Rising, so we'll get ourselves a kind of view on what Rising probably need to get. Okay. So we're going to do that, work out roughly what point total we think they'll finish on, ignoring their game against Rising. So let's start with San Antonio, right? They got Rhode Island at home. What do we think?
For what, San Antonio?
Just give me who do you think gets a result? San Antonio against Rhode Island.
Yeah, San Antonio.
So San Antonio. So there's one win. Sacramento at home. So that'll be in Texas.
I'll go. They lose that.
You're going to lose that one. El Paso away. San Antonio win, you think? Or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Colorado Springs in Colorado.
They lose that.
Louisville at home. So Louisville in San Antonio.
They lose that.
I lose that one. Detroit in San Antonio.
Draw.
Okay, so we reckon then they're probably going to get 7 points off of their remaining fixtures other than Rising. So you add that to the 31 that they're on. They're going to finish on 38 points with the swing on Rising or not.
Yes.
You look then at Monterey Bay. Actually, they're one of the ones lower down. Let's do Tulsa instead. We'll do Tulsa instead. Rhode Island in Rhode Island.
They lose that.
Okay, they lose that one. Oakland in Oakland.
They draw that.
El Paso in Tulsa.
Oh, yeah, they win that.
North Carolina in Cary.
They win that.
New Mexico in Tulsa.
I mean, yeah, they lose that.
Hartford in Tulsa.
They win that.
And Monterey Bay. That one's going to overlap then with one of our other teams.
That's a draw.
In Tulsa.
That's a draw.
It's a draw. Okay, so you're telling me they're going to get 1, 2, 3 wins, so 9 points plus 2 draws. So that's going to be 11 points to end the season.
That's a big swing.
For Tulsa, sorry. So that is a big swing. So that means they're going to be on 42 points at the end of the season, according to Max Simpson.
When have I steered anyone wrong?
Indeed. All right, Orange County. We go with another one now. They got Monterey Bay home. Monterey Bay away, sorry.
I think they win that.
They'll win that, so Orange County wins that one. They got Las Vegas Lights in Cashman Field.
Oh, yeah, they lose.
They're going to lose that one. Colorado Springs in Irvine.
Draw.
El Paso in El Paso.
Win.
New Mexico in Irvine.
I'm feeling a draw.
Hartford in Irvine.
Win.
So you've got them making 3 wins, 2 draws. They're also going to get 11 points, but they're on more point. They're on the same points that Tulsa are on right now. So they're gonna finish the season on 42 points. Not even counting the Rising game in there.
So
then we have Monterey Bay is the only one you have left.
Okay, fair enough.
So you had them to lose to Orange County.
Yep.
They're going to play Detroit in Monterey.
Oh, draw.
They play Rising. When they glow on that one for now. Sacramento away.
They lose.
Yeah, they lose. Colorado Springs at home.
Lose.
And you had a draw for their game against Tulsa. So you've got them picking up 2 more points. So to you, Monterey Bay are effectively dead men at this point. They will finish on 31 points, ignoring the Rising.
Correct. And also holding up, I mean, how these teams have played throughout the season and even just like knowing, you can't look into the last season much, but you're just looking at out of those 4 teams who are the most likely to threaten. I mean, if you're going to have to pick 3 out of those 4, yeah, Monterey Bay is the odd one out to me.
So here's the thing. To finish above Tulsa, because Rising has the tiebreaker.
Yes.
They need to get 9 points.
Yes.
Relative to your predictions. To finish above Orange County, they need to get 9 points if they beat them.
Yes.
They actually need to get 9 points as well, to be fair. Well, no, they don't. They need to get 10 points if they draw. Or they need to get possibly even 13 points if Orange County win. Depending on... Well, it would plausibly. And then San Antonio, Rising would need... If they win against San Antonio, they would need either 5 or 6 points to finish above them. If they draw against them, they would need 7 points.
Sure.
And if they lose to them, they would need 9 points.
I don't think it's... right, and I think that...
But I mean, the key thing here is that they're dropping points then. If for those bad scenarios, Correct. They're dropping points against...
Here's... And this is, I think, where this all comes back to play. Is like, right, like these are clearly predictions, and right, again, like, I mean, even hearing of like, right, historically, Ryan pointed out of like, there's a certain point, you need about 9 points anyway to historically what that looked like. And I think this
does bear out, to be fair, the roughly you want probably about 9 points, 10 points.
It does, right?
Because we're right around that point. I think
exactly, right? Like, can you look to historical stuff? I think sure to a certain point, but it's also, it kind of naturally plays out to the trend of things. This is how I look at it, right? 9 points in your last 8 matches. You can even say 10 if you really want the cushion. You're talking about 3 wins, 1 draw.
Here's the thing. In reality, if you beat San Antonio, Orange County, and Monterey Bay, you probably do.
Yes.
Qualify for the playoffs. No,
I get
even that. Losing to all those last 4 games, it'll be nervy, I expect. It'll come down to the wire. You may not know until the very last day if you're in or not.
No, I get that.
And you may be waiting on results after Rising's final whistle, actually.
Which is terrifying.
To get in, which is a nightmare scenario. But it could happen.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's a...
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to being up until midnight in Louisville, waiting for results to come in.
That's a fever nightmare. I mean, again, so let's say for cushion's sake, even not knowing what those results are, you need 3 wins, 1 draw, call it 10 points from your last 8 matches. That's all well and good when you look at it across 8 matches. If you completely blow it in these next 4 matches against people who are above you, which again, those 10 points you need makes it exponentially harder, you're then going into your last 4 matches, 3 out of 4 of them are on the road, needing 3 wins and 1 draw right? And that's assuming you completely drop all points in these next 4. That's a nightmare scenario. You kind of see here where you don't have a lot of margin to error. And really, like, to your point, what we're saying, these next 4 matches and really these next 2, absolutely vital. Absolutely vital. We're not on the lifeline yet. But if Saturday, if we're coming back here, we're doing the post game, and when we bring producer extraordinaire Kyle Cooper, and he does not work his magic, if that's the case, well, first, I mean, we're kicking him out. He's never coming back to a Phoenix Rising match in the flesh again.
That's mean. Be nice to producer Kyle.
He is nice, but...
Be nice to producer Kyle.
Whoa. No, you're always welcome. You are always welcome. Kyle, trust me, this was not your fault for this team, how they've been performing this season. I will not blame that on you.
They won when I was there.
That's what I'm saying. I know, but I'm saying if you break the curse, no. You're good.
It's not a curse. It's
if you break your momentum by you go there and they don't win. No, I'm kidding. I can't put that on you.
Max is stumbling because he's realized that he's saying mean things and trying to...
Kyle knows
Max is trying to do what he usually does, which is that he sees a hole that he's dug and he keeps digging,
Hi, Sam, if you're watching. Hey, if we're back here and we're on post game, and again, we're at that point where it's like they've lost. My gosh, like it's the pressure that this team is under keeps folding in herself. And again, like if we are looking at some sort of optimism or whatever, you control your own destiny. Like that is something that cannot get lost here. You are not needing other people to draw points. You are not needing to be looking up at the table. You write your destiny from now through the end of the regular season, and anything you missed out on is solely up to you. You can directly impact and improve that destiny even further in these next couple matches. But at the end of the day, you are in a mode from now and 8 games onward that all you have to do is get enough points to qualify. You don't need to look at the table. You don't need to worry about no scoreboard watching, anything like that. And I will say that is a great feeling, but my word, that is a gut check kind of feeling.
Just a
little bit. Are
there any midweek games?
What, 2?
Any midweek games coming up? Let's have a look.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant with Rising. Which,
no, I meant like tomorrow. Oh, the big one, 6 o'clock tomorrow. New Mexico United playing Sacramento Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Big game, Western Conference right there. Bang. Can Sacramento get it done? It's like the battle of the most mid-cities in this league.
That is
correct.
Yeah.
To be fair, then Sacramento's not up there. It's bad, but it's not like I put Hartford worse than Sac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Sounds good.
Ooh, Kyle dropped a 4th in fantasy. That's unfortunate. And 1 bag a week. Yeah, it's I haven't checked my lineup once, and I'm still I think ahead of Owen. Am I? Someone?
I don't even know. We're tied.
I'll take the lead on that. Ty goes to the runner. Yeah. Golden. Sorry, Ty goes. Let's go. Ty goes Golden Boot winner. Let's go. Me, not him. Well, listen, we can talk about this more, and I know when we come back from the break, we have a nice special guest joining us. But before then, I got to tell you guys about our friends over at Valley Tap Room. Valley Tap Room.
Get the beers in, Max.
Get those beers in.
Beers in.
Beers. Get your beers in over at Valley Tap Room. 2 locations, Gilbert and Queen Creek. It's a great time. Again, Queen Creek, the more spacious location, can get a lot of people in there, in the mix, inside, outside. And same thing for Gilbert. It's a little more small, a little more intimate. And Owen, it's a great place to watch a certain thing happen. Is that right?
You mean that time when Spain saved football by beating England,
Oh.
Because they've got the bottled beers in the fridge there, but they also have the bottlers on the TV when England are playing.
It'll be interesting to see, what did Rees have a sinking feeling in his stomach worse after that match or after this pending hot dog
that's a great question to ask him when he comes on for the pregame show.
We'll have to see, but of course, our friends at Valley Tap Room, I never have a sinking feeling when I'm there because of them, right? Again, it's when my teams lose and all that stuff. But the Valley Tap Room experience itself, nonetheless, is fantastic.
Taps. Let's
Check
go.
them out at valleytaproom.com. Follow them on socials at
great
Valley
time at Gilbert,
Tap
great
Room.
time in Queen Creek.
We've got a great time. We've got some stuff coming for you, especially after the season ends. It's going to happen. Check them out. Valley Tap Room. Baby, also, again, want to make sure one more time, it's not just going to be one more time. We're going to hammer this over and over. Become a diehard. Oh, yes. Become a diehard.
I'm hammering him with the mustard.
Go phnx.com/diehard. I think it's what the backslash. Now, no one does it / Forward slashes aren't cool. It's all about the backs. It's backslash. People love the backslash. Go phnx.com/diehard.
I feel like the way you describe it, though, as a backslash or a forward slash is also different between how you describe it and how I describe it.
Okay, hold on for a second. This is...
Because do you go down or do you go up?
But this is now, but you're now doing this in a different. If you're listening on audio, I'm sorry, this is gonna make 0 sense to you. Is this I guess how we're looking at it is that
the way I'd write it is up.
But I guess this is now looking to people at different. Anyway,
is up.
To me, the slash, if it is on the right, like it's leading, the top part is on the right, more right oriented. That's a forward slash. If it's more left oriented, that's a backslash.
Wait, hang on a minute. The upper bit is on the right hand side.
The upper bit is on the right hand side.
So like that to us.
Yes, that is a forward slash.
Well, that's the way it is.
That's what I said. That's why I said forward slash.
You said backslash for the thing though. Look.
Maybe.
Look, I'm showing you the website.
Maybe it is.
I've broken this man.
Anyway, become a diehard, and you can see the hot dog helper challenge in the flash again.
Speaking of which,
you got to go prep some stuff.
I gotta go get some stuff ready. But you know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna bring some.
We wanna do this right, and you know what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for Reese, the Glizzy Guzzler Goodall. Let's go.
Yeah. Reminder, hot dog challenge right after this podcast, exclusive for diehards. Make sure to tweet at us, DM us if you sign up during this show, and we will ensure to get you the information. Reese, listen, man. As one person who has run his mouth on this podcast and has faced dire consequences for it, I do feel you. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. You know.
Okay.
I'm not. That's a lie. I just lied to everyone here. I'm sorry. I'm feeling very nervous.
It's understandable. This is a safe place. It's a safe place. Again, here's the thing is, I know when we first talked about it, like listen, you are a connoisseur, right? And this is the thing that people who are downing you, people who are maybe saying this guy can't do it or anything like that, you have survived the rising hot dog. You have
only barely, though.
But you did, right? Yeah, you have eaten hot dogs at other places throughout, USL stadiums, and you're here. Like, that's the thing that I think people are discounting is people are looking at the sheer quantity, right? And they're saying, 10 minutes can eat 10 hot dogs. And that's fair. That's ultimately what it is. But you have seen, different type of hot dogs come your way, and you have made it out okay. That's, I think, the thing that you can't discount.
I think these are going to be the best quality hot dogs I've had in a long, long, long time.
There we go. And see, that's the thing going in your favor, right? I mean, listen, we'll ask the chat. And we'll pose on here as well because, right, we did set, right, you kind of mentioned 10 minutes, I can eat 10 hot dogs, right, quoting you. We do have on here, right, there are some informal betting odds. You can't get these over with our friends at Bet365. You cannot get them there, but, right, there's kind of stuff going on of what's the counter? Is it over under 9.5, right? I said 12. Producer Kyle, how many did you say, sir?
I also said 12.
You also said 12. So we believe in you. Again, we believe in you not just to clear, but to do it convincingly. And I mean, Kyle, like when I asked you, there was zero hesitation there, right?
Yeah. I knew Reese could easily eat 10 or more in 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time.
10 minutes is a long time.
10 minutes is a long time.
Depending on how you do it. So totally fair.
Yeah.
Now, Owain. That curmudgeon Owain. He does not believe in you. He's got you at 9, so just shy of the over-under. Chat, chime in as well. This is an interesting little score prediction rendition we're doing. But again, in 10 minutes, how many hot dogs does Reese eat? So as those are going, Reese, I want to ask you, and again, feel free to, if you don't want to reveal your strategy, that's totally fine. Because again, either way, you have to see it in person, become a diehard. If you want to answer, how are you looking to attack this, right? We have our guys at PHNX Cardinals. They did the 999 challenge. They completely went hard went a little bit decently hard in the beginning, really went hard in the middle, and then kind of just wrote it out. Are you looking to kind of attack this head on? Are you looking to kind of pace yourself? What are you looking at here?
I'm attacking this head on.
I love
it. Get as many done early as possible. Hopefully have quite a few done by 3 minutes in. So the next 7 will just be a breeze. But
I love it.
I also don't like Max taking the over on 12. If anyone knows anything about Max's betting history, that's a bad sign for me.
He's not wrong. Now it is balanced. It is balanced by Kyle also taking the over. So
Kyle, what's your betting history like?
Well, we don't need to talk about that.
Okay, don't like my odds then.
Yeah, well, that is fair. Well, listen, we'll see. It's a lot to figure out. Now, here's the other thing, right? Condiments, right? We do see, right? We have a brand redacted, literally brand redacted, mustard here. Are you kind of like a line of mustard? Are you a Dowson mustard? What are we kind of looking at here?
Well, I mean, if I was making a hot dog, we're at a barbecue or something, I'd put relish, relish, ketchup. I'd put all the things on there. Okay. But I'm probably just gonna try and put as much mustard on them as possible, just so I don't taste the hot dog and just get it over with. I like mustard. It's my favorite condiment by far. So
it's a conversation for another day. It's a good condiment. It's very limited, and it's a whole nother good discussion we get in. But it is great for hot dogs. I will say that.
What's your favorite condiment then?
Man, I think I've had this conversation with people, and this is wow. This will get off the rails.
He's gonna say something stupid.
It's great. I'm a big tartar sauce guy. Yeah, let's go.
Where are you even?
And you eat it with your fish and chips without a fork. Here we go. Call that. Let's go.
Shut up.
No. So the other thing, right, is you have a nice Polar Pop queued up with water. I know someone in the chat. I think it was a little bit early on was saying Max fills the Polar Pop with water. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that because you want to be prepared. Yeah. You want to be ready. You don't want to get slowed down. Yeah, exactly. You refill it. Easy.
Yes.
Oh, not on a hot dog. No, CWP, not on a hot dog. Just in general, that's a great condiment. No, Kevin, not on a hot dog. On a hot dog, I will happily do a little mustard, do a little relish, maybe a little bit of ketchup. But yeah, no tartar sauce on a hot dog. Although it does sound delicious, but I have not done that yet. All right, so you got the water. Are you a dunker? Are you gonna dunk any of these in the water? I guess I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. Now here's the one thing. And I want to set the stage because this is a commitment. And again, this is this man's choice. Reese?
No, it isn't.
When was the last time you ate?
Yesterday afternoon.
Again, this man wanted to be prepared. This man is geared up. We're excited.
Yeah, very hungry.
We are excited. This is going to be good, man. It's it's something we're going to tell about. I mean, again, to your point, it'll be a memorable experience. Hit that like button for the hot dog helper himself. Reese, anything for the people? I know Owain right now is, prepping some dogs. We are getting queued up again. We will drop this in Discord after the show ends. But anything else for the people?
Well, I just, it's mainly for me actually. But
please.
It's just, I got to remember that the harder challenge isn't today. The harder challenge is tonight and tomorrow morning. That's when the challenge really begins. So we'll see. Hopefully we can attack it head on and survive.
That's what we want, right? We want a beautiful attacking play to take things head on, and hopefully the defense rise to the challenge. But Reese, appreciate you. Everyone will catch you over on Discord. Actually, Reese, you can pop in, see if Owain wants to make any closing remarks. If you don't,
he's got to worry about the hot dogs.
You think so?
Yeah, so that's a tough job.
He probably does. Well, then you know what? You'll help me sign off. But appreciate everyone joining us over here on the PHNX Rising podcast. Of course, you can follow us at PHNX __rising because double the underscore.
I don't want to. I'll say double the mustard I'm putting on it. Double the hot dogs. That sounds brutal.
Like that. Of course, make sure if you are a diehard, look out in Discord for the way to watch it. If you have signed up during this show, DM
I don't like
us
that.
Everywhere. Of course, follow me on Twitter at MaxDavidSimpson. You can follow Owain on Twitter at OJEvans18. Follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. And you can follow Mr. Kyle, the producer extraordinaire behind the Mac, who we will already start saying he's going to guarantee us a rising victory. He said as much himself because he's going to the game in person. He's nodding along. He's not denying any of these allegations at KCoop Sports. It's going to be a good time. Again, hop on over in Discord. We'll be dropping the link. Again, make sure to download Discord, go into the Rising channel, and it will be there. We are so excited to bring you Hot Dog Helpers Hot Dog Challenge. It'll be over in there. Look at that face of excitement and
so
joy.
Excited.
It is a beautiful game, but it is so much more beautiful when you get to see how many hot dogs this guy can eat in 10 minutes. See you guys in a little bit.
We all silly like the mayor.